It says I'm live. Now the question is, do I have a good signal? Hello, everyone. I know I said I when I set this up in StreamYard, I had to make it at 1:05 start time in order for it to even post over to Facebook, because I do go live here on YouTube and on Facebook. So that's why it looked like some funky start time. But here you guys all are showing up. I woke up this morning feeling like I'd been run over by a truck. And so did Danielle, who works for me. So it's kind of like one of those being forced to take a day off kind of things. So much to do. So much to do. But sometimes the body just says, nope, nope. I'm sure I see Tiffany over there. Tiffany, how are you feeling? Because we have been going just kabonkers over at the market getting set up, because they're not giving us very much time to set up basically an entire store. Okay, Danielle has to stop messaging me. Hold on. I gotta turn off my little messenger thing. Okay, love you, Danielle, but stop messaging me. Body meltdown. That is a really, really good term for it. Body meltdown. And you know, as we get older, what's the word I'm looking for? It revolts. That's not the right word, is it? Maybe it is. I don't know. My brain is gone. My brain is just gone. I had to, this is Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady shirts. This is her Banana Box Antiques, and they are the softest, most wonderful, comfy shirts. I love them. I'm going to have to get some of my own made here pretty soon. But so Noah worked all weekend. He works over at the Las Vegas Mini Grand Prix. He runs the go-karts over there now. He's so excited. And so I didn't really have his help over the weekend, and we are still moving. I mean, my pods are getting picked up tomorrow afternoon, but they have to be completely full. You can't have like a half or a 3/4 full pod, because when they go to lift it up on the truck, everything would go bloop, bloop, bloop. So it's got to be packed. So I do have to finish packing the pods today. That is an absolute necessity. One's done. The other one, trust me, I have plenty of stuff. So that's getting done. The tortoises go for their annual checkup tomorrow morning. That's going to be fun. So today, I have to find all 5 of their carriers, which have gotten all shuffled around during the move. So I have to find their 5 carriers, because, and a lot of people ask me this, yes, they do have to be separate. And the reason for that is, one, if one has an illness or a disease, we don't want it spreading to the other ones. So that's number 1 reason, that everybody stays separate. Number 2 reason is that they are territorial, and they don't like company. They're not touchy-feely animals. They like their solitary life. They're comfortable just being alone. So that's reason number 2. And reason number 3 is then you can judge, their nutrition. How much you see Peanut in the background? She doesn't know she's on camera. So they can, we can judge how much they're eating and drinking and doing the things that tortoises do. So but that's why they live alone. But then also that's why we just keep them separate all the time. So they each have their own little carrier to go to the vet. And she's enjoying my carpet. You're stealing the show, baby doll. You're stealing the show. What are you doing over there? Oh, you're so funny. Now they're both down here by my feet. Ozzy's in here too. You'll see him wander over. So yeah, that's the thing. I get lots of questions about the tortoises that way. And the reason we take them all to the vet in October is they are getting ready to do their long winter sleep, which is called brumation. It's the same as hibernation in mammals, but in reptiles, it's called brumation. It's not quite as deep as a hibernation. They can kind of come out of it if they get thirsty or something. So we take them to the vet for their annual checkup. They get weighed. They get looked over to make sure there's no respiratory stuff going on that needs to be treated before they go into brumation. And we just make sure everybody has the best chance of coming out of brumation. That's always the nerve-wracking part. She had an itch. Oh yeah, she definitely had an itch. Did you have an itch? Everybody's asking if you had an itch. Now my mother's messaging me. Yes, Mom, I'm live right now. It's like asking somebody, are you sleeping? Waiting for an answer if they are. I'm live. Oh gosh. So we got that going on tomorrow morning. So I have to get over there early and I have to get everybody out of their burrows where they will all be tucked in because it's been colder. So that's going to be interesting. I just dropped Noah off at his friend's house out in Boulder City. I'll tell you what. Do they eat during hibernation? No, they're completely, their metabolism goes down to like 0 and they basically just hibernate and they come out in the spring. Yep. Was she scooting on my carpet on camera? Was she really doing that? Were you doing that? You can't do that on camera, honey. You just can't do that on camera. She has issues with her little glands in the back, so she does that a lot. Yeah, so I dropped Noah off this morning at his friend's. He's upgrading his computer, and he's so excited. So excited. So he won't be back till Thursday night. Rachel gets to stay with me. Now, normally they go to their dad's on Mondays. But she gets to stay with me to help me get the tortoises to the vet tomorrow. And then I'll be taking her to her dad's tomorrow evening. And today we're doing something really super special. We are getting our hair cut, which is not as big of a deal for me, but it's a super big deal for Rachel, who has never had more than a little trim in her entire life. Her hair is down to below her waistline, and she wants to donate it. Oh, I forget the organization. I don't think she's watching. It's not Locks of Love or Locks of whatever that one is. Not that one, because that one they make them pay for the wigs. She did her homework, she did her research, and she found an organization that gets the wigs to the children free of charge. So that is what she chose. I wish I could remember the name of it. Nope, not Locks of, yeah, we're not doing Locks of Love. We're doing, is it, oh, I wish she would, you know what? I'm going to ask her. I don't normally text while I'm in the middle of doing my live show, but I gotta know. Rachel, where are you on here? What is the name of the organization you are donating to? Okay, let's see if she answers me. I think it has cancer in the name. She'll tell me in a minute. So we're doing that this afternoon. And so we're both going to get the same length hair. And is it Wigs for Kids? I don't know. She'll answer me, hopefully. So we're doing that. And I'm going to try to get our kitchen finished So hard when you don't have the kitchen put together. We've done a lot, but there's just not enough hours in the day. So the vintage market happens next weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the actual market opens. And they don't let us in there very often. They only let us in there on Thursdays from 8 to 4. And then now we've been able to be in there Friday, Saturday, Sunday while the swap meet is open, but you can't carry anything in or out. And so we did work all weekend getting it set up. We have one more day left on Thursday to just finish up, you know, hanging a few things, putting some lights up and all that. So we're going to do that. And it's just one of those crazy weeks, super crazy weeks. I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I've gotten through so much of the stuff that was like, oh, is this going to happen? That I'm really not too worried. Is it expensive to get a tortoise checkup? It is $50 per tortoise. So it adds up. I'm taking 5 of them. So in that way it adds up, but it's a cheap insurance policy to make sure all is well. Will the market be filmed? I do film down at the market. I think Tiffany films a little bit down at the market too. So we're going to try our best to do some filming there. That piece of furniture, so you can see there's a mirror. It's an entry table with a mirror. The landlord actually left that for me. It was downstairs and it didn't really work in the space it was downstairs for me. So I brought it up here, but she left me that. She left me 2 couches. She left me an entire, that bedroom set you see over here. There's that dresser, a headboard, and 2 nightstands she left for me. And there's a whole thing of perfume, you know, sitting on a tray on the dresser. She's like, do you want these too? I'm like, sure. I like the way it looks. Then I started smelling the perfume going, ooh, some of these are yummy. She had really good taste. And she also left outdoor furniture. Super nice lady, super nice. Such a night and day difference from the previous landlord, who I'm already in legal battles with, have to go file some stuff at the court against her because she's already starting to cause troubles, even though I gave her my 30-day notice and I told her to please utilize the 26 days of rent that I am owed for the days I was without electric and or heating and air, which I talked to an attorney about. So I have that legal right. She's just being a butthead. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, they're both near. Let me show you what they're doing. They're just laying it. Oh, like it's like they know. It's like they know I pointed the camera at them. Yeah, so I have to get somebody out over there to inspect that house and get everything like legally noted and in writing and all of that good stuff, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this week as well. I see so many things you find. Can't wait until eBay's up. I know. I can't wait until eBay's up too. Honestly, I'm super excited to get my eBay back going again because, you know, getting ready for this move, it hasn't gotten attention. It hasn't gotten attention since I moved into that house is part of the problem. So we have a plan in place. I have got one super outstanding employee who I think Danielle, say something over there in the chat if you're still watching. I know she's got a really bad headache today, so she may not be. I could not do this without her. Like, she has been like my right arm. Like, she's been right there with me, just getting done whatever needs to be done. She's even like, she picks up Noah for me, and I mean, she's just amazing. Danielle, you're amazing. There she is. Everybody say hi to Danielle. So she's she's in charge of like packing up your packages now. So be nice to Danielle. And then I had another girl, but people flake. It is crazy how hard it is to hire people these days. I'm so grateful that Danielle answered the ad and, stayed on me like, you're going to hire me. Like, and here she is, and she's amazing. So I have another lady I'm interviewing this week. So cross fingers. Carrie, who many of you know, because she's appears in my videos, is back east with a new grandbaby. Her new grandbaby was born literally was it an hour, Danielle? Was it like an hour after she got there? I mean, she got off the plane and boom, here was baby. Mama was pushing. So she is in new grandbaby la la land right now. I don't think Rachel ever answered me. Let me see if Rachel answered me. She did not answer. I sometimes I wonder why I pay for a cell phone for that girl. Best practice, video the way absolutely 100%, because I videoed when I moved in. And I will video when I move out. And I'm also having an inspection done to show some of the issues like mold, the fact that the house is literally caving in the middle. And we know this because so the kitchen's on one side over here and it's leaning, like the cupboard, the drawers don't stay closed because everything is leaning, and a crack runs the entire ceiling. It's in bad shape. It's in really bad shape. So I will have a solid case against this woman. I am not worried at all. I have been in touch with an attorney already who's advised me on the steps. So I got that covered. And I tell you, like, I thought I had that on silence. Yoshi's going to keep popping at me. So, yeah, so the plan is to take the rest of October to get unpacked, get set up. I have an event I'm going to next week. Anybody else going to the Boss Reseller Remix next week in Las Vegas? Anybody from here buy a ticket and going to be there? I know Tiffany's going to be there. Am I worried about the rest of my things? No, because they can't make entry yet. They can't do anything. I still am the legal tenant. I don't think they're that stupid. There's almost nothing left. It's pretty much cleaned out except my inventory, which we're going to get that in the next day or two. So, I'm not worried. Not worried at all. Oh, and a big, humongous thank you to everyone who participated in my little wing it kind of a sale, my not so live sale. All but one thing sold, and thank you. Like, just thank you guys. That took such a heavy weight off of my shoulders, because I do count on those sales, to bring money in, to pay my payroll, to put money into the niche foundation, to pay my bills. So I really appreciate all of you who made the offers, and I got it all settled. You'll be getting an invoice hopefully by tonight if you won something. Thank you, Kathy. She says, as a former landlord, you guys can't see the Facebook comments. As a former landlord, I'm appalled how that house was in bad shape to rent. Yeah, they had no business renting that house. No business renting that house. And there's so many things that I made them repair right from the start too. Okay, some of you kind of probably know a little bit about the law around this. When we moved in, the swimming pool had just an open drain, just a pipe, just the drain open, like open in the deep end. And the first thing I told her was, that can't be like that. And she says, oh, no, 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 my pool guy said it was fine. I said, I don't care what the pool guy said. The federal law says that's not fine. You have to put an anti-entrapment cover on that. That's dangerous. So she goes, well, that means I have to drain the pool. I'm like, so we had to deal with that, which means, you know, people showing up. The guy kept wanting to show up on a Friday. And I said, fine, but it cannot be after noon. You cannot be here after noon on a Friday because I do my live sale. I go live and I didn't want dogs barking and worrying about people in the backyard. And guess when they kept trying to show up. And then she'd accused me of being difficult and not letting them in. And I said, no, I'm pretty clear that I said it cannot be after noon. And we went round and round, and then it took them a whole weekend between draining and fixing it and people in the backyard. And we were without a pool. Granted, I mean, it was cold. We didn't want to swim anyway, but still, we rented a house with a pool and we didn't have a pool. I mean, that was like right from the start. We started having issues. So. Thank you, Swifty Rose. I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, right? She says she thought, oh, the winging it auction was brilliant. Yeah. Get shop done. I'm not claiming brilliance. I'm just claiming I needed a workaround. That's probably the most frustrated you guys will ever see me, because I'm pretty good at just dealing with stuff. And I gotta tell you, I was between being tired from moving and just looking at, like, I left all this stuff out so that I didn't have to pack it and move it kind of thing. It was like, but we got it done with your help. What is she doing back there? Is she still doing stuff back there? What is she doing? I don't even know where they are now. I think they're on the bed. I think they jumped up on the bed. Spoiled little doggies. The guinea pigs. You guys asked about the guinea pigs. So if you saw, which video was that? Was it yesterday's that I showed the guinea pig rescue? Operation Rescue? So it was, yeah, she was on the bed. It was Danielle who actually sent me a picture. She sent me a link to a Nextdoor. Was it Nextdoor, Danielle? That someone had these guinea pigs in their backyard that I guess their roommate. We don't even know the backstory. We don't know anything about these poor pigs, except that they were outside fending for themselves. And the night before the morning that we got them, it was cold and rainy and windy and miserable. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, those poor guinea pigs. So Danielle actually went over, picked up the guinea pigs and brought them to me. And they're doing fantastic. They're very, very happy. Rachel has already named them. I know a lot of people wanted to do like a naming contest, but Rachel has already named them. And Rachel's not answering her message that I'm asking her about that. Or did she? Oh, wait, maybe she did. Hold on. Stand by. Did she answer me? No, she didn't answer me. She didn't answer me. Goodness. So we already had mocha and s'mores. So we had like this coffee and dessert theme going. So Rachel named them, are you ready for it? Espresso, latte, and mousse, as in chocolate mousse. So that is that's Rachel's thing. So we got this whole coffee dessert smorgasbord of guinea pigs out there. And I had just got a brand new cage for the girls we already had. And that's what they were in. So it was just by fortunate luck that I had that second cage, had everything I needed to get them all set up. And they are so happy. And they are so, so happy. Oh, yeah. I am moved, Pamela. I am almost, I mean, we're sleeping here. We're still in Box City, but we're moved. Now you want to go to Starbucks. It's one of my Facebook viewers there wants to go to Starbucks. And then we have Peanuts, who likes to bark at the drop of a hat. Hey, that is so unnecessary. And then Ozzy was named from the Wizard of Oz because he needs courage because he's such a scaredy cat. Like, that's how he got his name. It was meant to be. Yeah, I thought I'll bring her in here and she won't have anything to bark. It is so quiet here, you guys. I didn't realize how noisy that other house was. Oh my goodness, it is. And so that was one of the other issues with that house is the room that Noah had was right underneath the rooftop HVAC unit. And the HVAC unit is 18 years old and super noisy. That was one of the first things I did when I moved in because he goes, Mom, this noise is so bad I can't even sleep. So we were having to turn it off at night so Noah could sleep because it was so loud. And I told the landlord it was a problem. She says, well, it's working fine. Should have been my first red flag. So I had an AC guy come out to go look at it and see why it was so noisy. And he told me, well, number one, it's an 18-year-old unit. The compressor's working really hard. Number two, it didn't have what they call isopads. So when they put an air conditioning unit on the roof, it has to have these insulating like dense foam pads to absorb the vibration because it's going to vibrate, right? They didn't have any. There was no isopads on this thing at all. So I told the landlord this and I said, this needs isopads. It's part of the code. It's when you put an air conditioner on the roof. She goes, well, I don't know why it doesn't have them, but it's working fine. So I'm not doing anything. That was our first big battle. And then I said, well, I'm going to try to put some sound tiles then on his ceiling. She says, no, you're not putting anything on that ceiling. You'll ruin it. Popcorn ceilings, by the way, might I add. So we got into this battle right off the bat. So then it was shortly after that the first time that the unit stopped working. Now that was when we were running the heat portion, and it's fairly easy to do room heaters, right? Like, okay, we can get the house warmed up where we need it. And that was also the time that we realized there was electrical issues because my room heater, which it's one of those, I don't know if you could see it back right there in the corner. It's almost brand new. It's one of the little fireplace ones. It's not like an old one or anything. It's energy efficient as much as they can be. And all of a sudden, I'm smelling the smell of like burnt plastic. And it's like that smell when you have like a rubber tongs down in the dishwasher heating element kind of smell. And so that was the first, I'm like, no, nobody ran the dishwasher. Like, where's that smell coming from? And then it dawned on me and I went and I unplugged that sucker so fast. The entire wall was hot. It was very scary. And so that started another chain of events with the electrical panel. Now, mind you, now we've got no electric that we can safely run space heaters, and we have no heat. So when she had the warranty company come out, they again said, yeah, this is a really old unit. And they fixed it. And I said, what about the noise? What can be done for the noise? And they're like, well, you could put, the pads under it. I'm like, that's what it needs. So supposedly they put them on order. So we waited and we waited. It took a month to fix the electrical panel. So we lived like in fear of plugging anything in, for a month. And then it was an entire day with no electricity because they had to turn everything off to change out the panel. And the electrician said that the panel wasn't even up to code. that it was probably the original to the house, built in the 80s. And so then it literally took until July to get the isopads put on the unit, because I went the legal route and I sent the certified letter stating that this issue had to be resolved, and she had 14 days to resolve the issue, or I was going to have it done and charge her or deduct it from my rent. That's when she got the company out to put the ice pads on, solved that issue for Noah. Didn't take the noise away completely, but it was so much better. He was super happy. So now fast forward, we're in this house. One of the first things he tells me is, Mom, I'm sleeping so good now. My room is so quiet. Oh my God. So my son, see, this is why she does not want to go to court with me, because I will go for punitive damages as well. My son lived with that noise for 7 months, and it affected his emotional and physical well-being because he couldn't sleep in it. And she was told that, and it was, the unit ends up going out 5 times in 7 months. 5 times this unit went out because it's old and outdated, and she's been told that. So sure, she didn't have an obligation, legally to replace it as long as it was running, but there are consequences to having knowledge that you have a unit that's going to cause issues for your tenant. She made that choice to take her chances that way and have some liability versus spending the money to replace the unit. She didn't want to do anything that her home warranty didn't cover. I mean, I'm gonna shoot video. You're gonna see it, and I'm gonna clip it on to one of my videos here this week. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff from that house. It's insane. I mean, one of the things for me was, running it does not make it working right. Exactly. It was really inefficient. So it was on half an acre, which was one of the things that, we were so excited about. We wanted to grow gardens and, have a backyard that was enjoyable and all this stuff, but everything was dead. And she's like, yeah, that's because the old tenants didn't turn on any water. And she's saying, yeah, my mom had this very expensive irrigation system, drip system, sprinklers put in. We'll get it working again. She asks me to find a landscaper to do that. I had 2 people come out and give a quote, and she's like, oh no, I can't spend that kind of money. So it never got done. So the entire backyard, it was just dirt, dead trees. I brought the grapevines mostly back, not completely. It was still a bunch of dead stuff, but it was just, everything was dead and ugly, and I wasn't going to put my own money into it at this point. So we couldn't even enjoy the backyard, really. So, and then everything in the house got filthy dirty because of all the dirt blowing. Oh man, it's bad. But I don't want to sit here and say that it was all for nothing, because it wasn't. Because had we not been brought up here into that house, I would not be in the house I'm in now. I may have met Tiffany, but I met Tiffany because she came to a yard sale that I held. That's how her and I first met in person. It's like Tiffany came to my yard sale and we kind of hit it off, and her daughter and my daughter hit it off. And so everything, I know it's cliche, everything happens for a reason. It's not necessarily that everything happens for a reason, but everything that happens can make something else beautiful. That's kind of my philosophy, looking at my entire life. If I hadn't gone through the things that I've gone through in my life, I wouldn't have the same compassion and empathy and passion for helping others who are in that situation. So I feel like I can take something that was really horrible and crappy and turn it into something really beautiful. And that's kind of, that's my whole philosophy is, I mean, just like with the sale, when it all kind of went to and blew up on me in the moment, couldn't really think straight. But now looking back, it's like it gave me the opportunity to try something else and test the waters with something else, which now that could be a thing. I can do that in addition to my live sales so that the people who can't get to the live sales have an opportunity to buy stuff too. So you can super duper take any crappy thing and make something awesome come out of it. It's so don't think that anything in your life has been a waste or has been for nothing. Just go like, okay, now how do I take that and let's do something great with it. The Pollyanna Effect. I'm not familiar with the Pollyanna Effect. So I'm like, I'm not going to agree or disagree, but to me, when I hear Pollyanna, it's like an artificial positivity, but I could be totally off. I could be totally off. Yeah, and honestly, that has not come easy for me. I don't want to say that I've always been able to think clearly. And I mean, just ask Tiffany. I was the grumpiest grump I think she's probably ever seen on Saturday when we were working down at the space. Man, I was mad. I was just mad. Oh. But now, you know, and like we don't know, like right in the moment, I don't know what great thing is going to come out of us busting our butts to work so hard. Because what happened down at the space was we were going to rent 4 spaces. We wanted 4 10x10s, like in a block, to set up our own little like shop. And we had it all mapped out, even like we were ready to go. And they didn't, the way it was done, they gave the decision to where everybody wanted a space based on how long they had been there. And I guess we just got edged out by somebody who'd been there like just a little hair sooner than we got the contract signed. So they wanted 2 of the spaces that made the 4-space block. And there was no other 4-space block. I mean, there was no other place for us to go. So we battled that and battled that because there was other places for them to go have 2 of those spaces, but not for us to have 4. And I mean, we were this close to saying, okay, we're done. We're not doing this. So we had to compromise down to 3 spaces that are all in a row. And it's just not the same for, you know, setting up the way we wanted to with all the stuff that we have. So we're going to see what beautiful thing comes out of this. Maybe it's, you know, motivating us to do something else. I will just leave you that little tidbit. Actually, we've already talked about doing something else, but I'm just leaving you guys with that little piece of the puzzle there. We're working on some stuff because we have already outgrown the space and there's no place to expand. Literally no place to expand down there. Wait. What? Sam! You cracked me up, girl. Oh, that's a possibility. Vintage tiny treasures. I love that. Oh goodness. So what else is, I think I've answered all the questions that I've had coming in through comments and emails and such. What's on your mind, guys? I'm going to focus over here on this chat a little bit and spend some time fine-tuning on what you guys want to know. Right, Karen? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might be our little push. It might be our little push. Also, I think it's good for us to see how we work together under pressure too, because you know, whenever you partner with someone else, you got to bring both your personalities into it, and it's like it's almost like a marriage. It's like, can we get along in the long term? You know, I can put up with Tiffany if she can put up with me. I'll just say that. Hey, I know you guys. I've offered Tiffany to do the live sale with me, so you guys just keep pressuring her. Deanna, I gave a whole update on the turtles. Do you or will you? Yeah, we are not even gonna go to that question. I'm just not even going there. We don't talk about anything controversial here because YouTube doesn't like it. So crazy how that works. YouTube. A lot of people, oh, I know one of the things I keep getting a lot of, I think I addressed this in one of my like openings for one of my videos, but a lot of people are saying like, just take the time off, Danny. Just take time off, take a week off, don't do videos for a while. But you guys got to remember, I make a good part of my living from what YouTube pays me too. So I depend on that YouTube money. And if I stop doing the daily videos, because that's what I set up. Like, I wish I'd have been smart and just done like 1 or 2 days a week, like some people. But no, I told YouTube I'm doing a daily video. So YouTube expects that. So if that video doesn't come in, all of a sudden my advertisers who pay to put their ads on my videos, it goes and it crashes hard. So even missing 1 day is very, very bad. So we don't do that. We don't do that. When you close your stores, there's no money to shop with. You know, yeah, that's a thing. I am all about the Dave Ramsey method of budgeting and bookkeeping and such, is that you've got to have an emergency fund. You got to have that emergency fund. And I'm going to put this out. No matter how much you're making or selling or whatever, you need to pick a percentage. I mean, I know some of you live paycheck to paycheck or sale to sale, or whenever that money comes in, check to check, you know, when you're counting on that money. But what if the person writing that check took out 10%? What would you do? You'd figure out how to manage, wouldn't you? You would. We all do. So I challenge you to take 10% of every sale, 10% of every check, put that into an emergency fund. Get an emergency fund set up. Dave Ramsey recommends you start with $1,000. Get $1,000 in your emergency fund, and then you can take that money and tackle some other things that results in more money later. And then once you get those other things tackled, now you come back and you add to that emergency fund so that you have 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That is your food, shelter, and clothing, basically your necessities, your transportation, your needs. Get that into a savings fund so that when something happens, you're not going, oh crap, I'm not selling anything. I know you're talking about, you know, having money to go out and buy more stuff to sell and all that, but honestly, it's a really important thing, especially in the times that we live in, is that everybody get your emergency slush fund together. And that's what I've been moving on. That's been my moving money, is that slush fund that I have just religiously put that little bit, and it doesn't take much to add up to something. A $20 sale, it's $2. You can live without that $2, but all of those $2 add up to hundreds, thousands if you just keep doing it. So just keep doing it. Do it, do it, do it. Baby step 7. Congratulations, Becky. but your emergency fund is not for shopping. I get that. I know. You just kind of, you segued me into saying that though. Yeah, I don't have any debt. I'm thinking that. No, I don't. And there's no credit cards. No, I was so happy I paid off those student loans. No car payment. I bought that's why I drive a juice box, you guys. That's why I drive that little Kia Soul, because I paid cash for that car so that I didn't have a car payment and I had lower on the gas because I had an Escalade. That sucker only got like 10 miles per gallon. And I had to put the 91 premium gas into it. So that beast had to go. But Noah's going to get the juice box here as soon as he saves up enough money. And then I don't know what I'm going to get. But I tell you what, I'm going to pay for it with cash again. I'm going to do it. You paid cash for your new house. That is amazing, Vintage and Vino. What a relief that is, right? That's awesome. Yeah, and you know, guys, the only thing I've ever known is reselling stuff. I've gone and had jobs. I've been a waitress. I've done like direct marketing. I worked for it's called American Fund Service. What I did was took all the documents that it was like a investment company, and my job was to take all the documents and photo them for the microfiche. Microfiche. Anybody remember microfiche film? Yeah, that was my job. Talk about boring. Oh, Sam. It's not my job to be disappointed in anybody but myself. So no judgment here, girl. I'm only here to inspire, motivate, and support, not judge. Yeah, I don't even think they everything's digital now. They don't even do microfiche. I used to fall asleep. So I was throwing a paper route in the morning that I'd go at 4 o'clock in the morning. When you have a paper route, you go in, you have to fold up your papers, rubber band them, load them up, put them in your vehicle. I had a little truck. So I do that 4 o'clock in the morning. By 5 o'clock, I'm out. I throw the route. That's another hour. 6 o'clock, I'm done. I have enough time to go home and sleep for 1 more hour. I'd get my little power nap of 1 hour in. I'd wake up, get dressed, get to work. I would literally be so tired. I'd be sitting there with the documents going, dozing off. And so I'd get my break. I'd get a 10-minute break. I'd run out to my truck. I'd set my little alarm for 7 minutes, and I'd take my 7-minute power nap, and then I'd get back in there and whew. And then I'd go waitress after that. I mean, I was burning the candle at both ends. A Kia Niro. A Kia Niro gets 50 miles per gallon. What? Is it what do they call it? Like a hybrid? Is that what that is? I want to know more about that. Yeah, so from all of that, being a single mother from the time I was 19 years old until I remarried, I was 28 when I remarried. And that's in 1998, eBay came around, and that was like, it's been my world. It is a hybrid. Okay, when you have a hybrid, okay, this is a totally like squirrel. When you have a hybrid vehicle, do you have to still plug it in, or is there something that it has its own generator because it's gas also? Does it recharge itself that way? How does that work? I don't want to have to plug anything in. Good for you, Deanna. It says her mortgage is the only thing they owe, and the goal is to have it paid off by the time her husband retires. That's amazing. No plug-in or no plug-in? Just make it no plug-in. So I think what you mean is it has like something, because it's hybrid, the no recharge. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna look into that. Wow. Wow. That sounds awesome. Is it bigger than my soul? That sounded weird. Is your car bigger than my soul? Interesting. Okay. Oh, thank you, Bree. It changes when you're driving it. It charges when you're driving it. Okay. All right. I'm going to look into that. Something else that I'm really close to is hitting 35,000 subscribers, guys. I'm watching where am I at? I'm going to check right now. Where am I at? I am so close. I'm at 34,709 before I hit like the 35,000 mark. So I love the, like, some of those markers. Now my goal for this year is 40,000. I'm hoping to reach 40,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. So we'll see if that happens. But I love when I hit one of the markers. It doesn't sit as high, but has a lot of room. I'll really check into it. Although I really want another Escalade. I really do. I love that car so much. But we'll see. I'm gonna be good though, and I'm not gonna get myself into any like big payments. This house is a lot more than the house I was in rent wise, because everything is skyrocketing around here. To get any kind of a decent house, you've got to pay some big rent. So I am so fortunate and blessed to have the reselling business that I do to be able to afford it, but I'm not taking on any other payments because of that. So I will just scrimp and save and drive my little juice box until I can afford to go get something that I really want. Should open a house of horrors for Halloween. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. All right, Sam, we got you, girl. It's one step at a time. See, that's the thing. Go just go check out Dave Ramsey. I mean, I get nothing for promoting Dave Ramsey, but honestly, go just check out the baby steps. Look up Dave Ramsey baby steps. They work. Like, I have seen them work over and over and over and over to get yourself out of a pickle. It really works. And one of his things is live like no other now so that you can live like no other later. Meaning, cut the subscriptions and, get the cheap car that you don't really want and all of that stuff, and scrimp and save, get rid of the debt. So now you can have that life that you really want. And Sam, I'm just going to talk to Sam with Thrift You for just a second. You and your mom have an incredible eye for the right things to pick up and resell. So, girl, use that, because that's your ticket right there. That's your ticket right there, is the reselling. You got the tools. Just got to figure out, where to turn the screws. I know you're going to turn that into something else as soon as I said it. Why, Marcy? Why? What's wrong with an Escalade? I love my Escalade. It was a used one. It wasn't a new one. I'm not gonna, never buy a used car. Never. Oh, am I talking to Sarah? Oh, see, I thought, Sarah, you girl. Okay, I know Sam works during the day. I don't know if do you work during the day? Because if not, man, you just start selling that stuff. Are you on eBay? We're going to get you on eBay if you're not. Wait, no. Well, Sam, we'll talk. We'll talk, because, oh my gosh, the stuff that you find. All right, we're going to talk. We're talking. We're done with this. We're having a conversation, Miss Sarah. We are. All right. Too bougie. You know what? It's not about, I don't want the Escalade because, oh, look, I'm driving a Cadillac. I love the Escalade because of the quality, because that was one of the most dependable vehicles I've ever owned in my life. It was a 2003, and I just got rid of it earlier this year. You do the math. That was an old car, and the worst thing I've ever had to do was replace the catalytic converter. That thing just kept going, and I beat it up. So, I mean, just the quality of workmanship. And I thought, when I got that car I had that car for, I want to say 5 years, maybe 6 years, maybe 7 years. I don't know. I had it several years, but when I got it, it was already an older car, and it still was just so solid. That's my reasoning. It's just a well-made vehicle. You can go to your mom's house and make a fortune of shit. I don't advise that. Don't take things from mom. Yeah, so Kathy, I'm on YouTube streaming and you're seeing me on Facebook. So that, yeah, you guys don't see each other's chat. I stream in 2 places at the same time. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate it. Yeah, and so the other thing that I still really want to do is, because I hear this a lot, that other people's Goodwills are not like the ones you see me shopping at. I still want to do a take me along with you. Let me help you find things. If you need to make this reselling business really work, maybe it's not antiques collectibles that you need to focus on. Maybe there's other things, household goods, different things that might not be in your comfort zone. And I would love to go to your stores virtually with you, and let's figure that out. So, because obviously everybody lives where they live, and you have to source for a reselling business based on where you live. So that's the piece I want to help people figure out. Now you must learn how to get to my site. Which site? I have a website now. It's not completely finished yet, but I have a website now. I haven't officially like released it. So a lot of you, I'll leave it with this because it's already 2 o'clock. So I had a lot of comments about when I was at the swap meet, and then the Goodwill video I did after that. You might have seen a photographer show up in a couple of the clips. And yes, I was being followed by a photographer. That was a friend of Jordan's, who's a photographer, who I paid her to just follow me around and get some candid footage and photos so that I can put it on the new website. So yeah, that's what that was all about. Oh, well, Sabrina, if you live in Vegas, you've got a plethora of stuff. This place is amazing. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We have almost 600 people here watching. Like, thank you. This room, I'm determined, is going to be done by next Monday when I go live again. Like, this wall here is going to do something there. And I don't know what. I really don't want to put the mirror up there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that piece of furniture. Doesn't really go anywhere. I won't have, my bags of linens sitting on the floor there. See, this is going to make me keep my room clean too, because you're going to see it on camera. This is a piano over here that I haven't played in almost a year. I'm gonna start doing that again. But yeah, I might sell it. It's beautiful. I like it. So if I could find a place for it, I would keep it. I don't know that it works there. I don't know what works there. We'll figure it out. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your support. It truly means the world to me. Just absolutely. I'm so humbled by all of you who come and watch the videos and come to the live sales and support the channel. You guys are the best, and I appreciate you so much. So with that, go be profitable and make it fun. And we will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.